Only 60 million years have passed since the first solid particles condensed out of the cooling solar cloud, a mere blink in Earth's vast story. Dust became rock, rock became mountain-sized wanderers. Dozens of young worlds' embryos of planets drifted, collided, and competed for dominance in this violent nursery. Now, after countless collisions and close calls, only a few massive survivors remain. One of them is Theia. Its surface is a fiery wasteland, scarred by endless impacts and drowned in oceans of molten stone. Radioactive decay burns beneath its crust. Debris still falls from space, but the worst is over. Most of the original planetesimals are gone, devoured, or flung into the dark. Broken fragments lie scattered across the terrain. A hazy carbon dioxide sky hangs low. Moisture clings to the dust, and in the shadows, perhaps the first shallow oceans are beginning to appear. It looks promising. Maybe life will take hold here. But it won't, because this is not Earth. This is Theia. Though powerful, Theia's journey is nearing its end. A larger rival stalks the same orbit, a young planet growing stronger by the day. Just beyond the curve of the horizon, Earth appears. Still molten, still incomplete, but gaining mass and momentum, the two worlds spiral toward each other. Gravity locks them into an inevitable embrace, and then a cataclysm. Theia and Earth collide with unimaginable force. Mountains vaporize, oceans boil. Molten rock sprays into space, and fragments from both bodies are launched into orbit. As the dust settles, Earth consumes its rival. What remains swirls around it, forming a glowing ring. This ring will soon clump together, becoming the moon. Theia's story ends here. Its grave is the moon in our sky. But Earth's tale began much earlier, before planets, before the sun. A distant supernova shocked a cloud of gas and dust into motion. It collapsed, spun faster, and flattened into a swirling disk. At the center, the sun ignited. Within that disk, the first particles of rock met. By chance, they stuck together. And so, Earth began not as a planet, but as a few specks of dust. At this early stage, gravity was too weak. Instead, static electricity brought matter together. As more pieces fused, small clumps grew larger, forming into the seeds of something greater. But growth was a race against time. If Earth didn't grow fast enough, the sun's gravity would pull it in and destroy it. To make matters worse, once it reached the size of a pebble, static forces became useless. Gravity was still too weak to help. Growth stalled. Most bodies at this stage would fail, burn up, shatter, or drift endlessly. But Earth was lucky. It formed in a dense region of the solar disk. Its growing mass began to attract more material. It siphoned off dust, stole pebbles, and held them tight. Meanwhile, the young sun's radiation pushed lighter gases outward. Hydrogen, helium, even water vapor gone, blown into deep space. These elements wouldn't return for millions of years. As Earth grew into a massive planetesimal, it began to melt. Not from the sun's heat, but from within. Radioactive elements like aluminum-26 decayed rapidly, releasing intense energy. Iron and heavy metal sank deep, forming Earth's first metallic core. The planet began to organize itself, but the solar system was still crowded with other worldlets. Dozens of rocky giants competed for resources and survival. Collisions were frequent, violent, and unpredictable. Some bodies merged, others shattered. Earth endured and thrived, carving out its place in the chaos. Far away, Jupiter formed colossal and icy. It began to drift inward, devouring everything in its path. Planetesimals caught in its gravity were either swallowed whole or slingshot into oblivion. Jupiter came dangerously close to Earth, but it was stopped snared in a gravitational duel with Saturn. The two giants fought, tugged at each other, and were ultimately pulled back to the outer solar system. In their wake, a barren region remained. Mars, too small to grow further, was left behind, a fossil of what might have been. In the inner solar system, Earth held on. Dozens of embryonic planets still orbited the Sun. Mercury was stripped down by a massive impact. Venus and Mars settled into their final forms. And Earth grew bigger, more stable. It had almost reached its final mass. But one last collision remained the most violent of all. Theia's orbit crossed paths with Earth. Drawn together by gravity, they collided. The explosion liquefied rock, shattered crust, and blasted pieces of both planets into space. The impact tilted Earth's axis and changed it forever. In orbit, those fragments began to merge. Over the next century, they formed our moon, forever bound to Earth. This was Earth's final planetary battle. No other impact would come close. The moon we see today is the monument to that chaos. And though Earth was done growing, its story was just beginning. It was not yet the blue marble we know, but a scorched, cracked, red and black world, still healing. After 60 million years of destruction, fire, and cosmic chance, Earth was finally ready for history to begin.